Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Legacy United Cybertron Starscream. Now, this guy, I am really excited to review. Not just because, it's Cybertron Starscream, and this was pretty much the first guy that I reviewed way back then, not counting those unlisted videos that I've wiped off the face of YouTube. But, well, this is a figure in Wave 2 of United, and let's just say United Wave 2 has, sort of become quite infamous for, how hesitant Hasbro was to announce it. I mean, we've had most of the figures show up in retail before Hasbro announced this wave. That's how I got this guy, because he just showed up on eBay before his official announcement. I mean, granted, he took a long time to get here, but still, this is not a stolen copy. I actually legitimately bought this. So, yeah. In fact, to show that this is legit, here's the box. So, yeah. So, got the standard United packaging in that Jaffa Cake style of colors, because we got the dark blue and orange. Of course, we got Starscream in his, I guess, Tetrajet mode? Like, I'm pretty sure this is based on War Within Starscream's jet mode, if I remember correctly. But still, I just think this is a really iconic jet mode, so, yeah. Of course, Cybertron Universe Starscream. Of course, Legacy United. This side we got a picture of Starscream right here, close up of his face. And of course, this is a Voyager Starscream, not the really huge one that fought Primus. This side, of course, we got one half of the mural. Of course, we got Magmatron, which I do really want to get. Tidal Wave, which I still want to get, even though he's going to be like 200 quid. This side, we got the back of the box of him in both modes. And he's got a cyber key! Like, like that's amazing, because Metroplex and Override did not come with cyber keys, so this is really, like, dude. And Cannonball, the Star Raider, also comes with a cyber key, so looks like all future Cybertron figures in Legacy are going to come with cyber keys. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the box. Now, moving on to the figure. Now, for a lot of people, this is probably going to be their first time seeing this figure out of box. But yeah, for a few people, of course, they already have this figure because, well, it's shown up in retail before his official announcement in the third fan stream, so, yeah. But first impressions, I really like this. I mean, it's a pretty faithful recreation of the jet mode. So looking at the details. So, of course, we've got the points here at the front. And, of course, that flips up in the feet, which are right here. Here, we've got the cockpit section done up in a nice translucent purple. We've got the little tiny wings with these huge blocks, which, I mean, come on. If this was real, this would not be aerodynamic at all, but come on, this is more for flying through space, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But still, these tiny wings these are hilarious to me. Now, one change that they've actually made is the head's no longer visible. Yes, a step in the instructions actually tells you to flip the head around. Now, I'm sure this was done for two reasons. One, so we got no more visible head syndrome. And 2, well, this guy's actually got some gun storage, and I'm sure the head being there would probably impede with that, so that's probably why they did that. And to be honest, I think that actually looks a bit better. Because, of course, if you look at the original Voyager figure and the original Supreme figure, the face was still a bit visible there. So, yeah. Of course, we still have the tail fins right there, and these are actually packed separately. Like, if I just split these are detachable, because these are packed separately in the box. So I guess if you want, you could use these as weapons, because they're on the 5mm system. So yeah, you could use these as the weapons if you want. Like little axes, I don't know, but really it's just some parts. It's just some assembly required. Of course, we've got the thrusters right there. And I'm pretty sure these don't take blast effects, because I don't see the little nub, but hey, it's worth a shot. So if we just get some blast effects out. And, no, these do not take blast effects. And of course, right there, we've got the cyber key slot. And of course, that's to go with an accessory which we'll see later. And finally, the underneath where we have, well, we've got a platform here for him to rest on. There's no landing gear, just have this platform. And this can be a bit tricky to get tabbed in, but once you manage, then it creates a little stable base for him to stay on. But yeah, he can't really roll, there's no wheels. So that's a bit unfortunate, but oh well. But well, let's move on to the accessories. And you know what, let's just start off with the most exciting one. The cyber key. Yes. We got our first cyber key in, what? Like, 17 years? Well, maybe not, because we've had, like, cyber keys and, BotCon figures, so, but still, the fact that we've got a new cyber key after, like, so long is actually quite exciting, although this is not just a reissue of the old cyber keys, because, well, if I get the cyber key from the Supreme Starscream figure, yeah. So the shrinking that you guys have been fearing of the leader figures, that's going on with the cyber keys as well. Ugh. But well, it still has most of the details, like the thing at the top, this detail at the side. Of course, the Decepticon insignia, which remind most of the paint's scratched off on this one. But still, most of the detail is captured on this. Although, unfortunately, there's no code at the back, which, of course, it makes sense. The website where you put those codes in has been defunct for years. In fact, there's still an archive website where it tells you about the codes, so, yeah. But still, we can take the key, we can just insert that right in there, and it does nothing. So it's more meant to be a cute little reference, because of course in the original toy, the Voyager, not the Supreme, you would put that in and swords would fly out. But of course, they actually do still keep the swords, you just have to manually flip them out yourself. So, yeah, he still has the swords, which I think is a really nice detail. And the fact that like, you have to just flip them out yourself, I honestly think that's a bit nicer. So, yeah. Now, for the second accessory, I'm gonna find it. He's got a translucent purple gun. And I guess we can add this to the list of energon weapons. I don't know. Seeing how I've got the Supreme Starscream, I'm not sure. But maybe the Voyager back in the day had this. I don't know. Maybe he had this in the show. But it does have the nub here, so blast effect. So yeah. Although that does seem to be drooping. But yeah, that can't take blast effects. And for storage, well, you just come under here. Got these little ports in the tail fins here. This actually tabs into those ports and the tail fins. So if I can actually get those in. There we go. So that just tabs into there. So now we've got the sword. I called it a sword. The gun right there. So, yeah. And of course, you can fire at someone. And honestly, I think that looks really nice. Kind of wish the swords had the ports, like one of the swooshing blast effects that came with, like, Lionizer. But, still, this looks really cool. And that's pretty much it for the jet mode. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but well, let's try and bring in the original Supreme figure. Because keep in mind, this guy is fucking huge. So you can see that this is pretty much based on the Voyager. Well, like, this is based on Starscream before he grew to this size. And of course, you can see that this figure had the visible head. And a sound box. Whereas this is just a full-on Voyager figure. Whereas this, I'm pretty sure nowadays this would maybe... I think this is Commander class size nowadays. Maybe a bit bigger? I don't know. But you can see just how big these guys are together. And of course, I don't have the Voyager from the original Twilight line to compare him with, because, well, of course, that was a Takara exclusive in the original colors, and the colors that we did get were, I don't know, some weird white color. So, yeah. But, well, let's get this guy transformed, so I guess flipping the swords back and taking the gun and cyber key off. So, to get this guy transformed, well, there are a few familiar things, like how the legs work, and there are a few stuff that's different. A few things that are different. So, trying to get the phone tilted up. Hoping my stand doesn't break, because of course it's made of Lego. Just gonna start off. In fact, like the instructions actually tell you to move these down, because these are just on the standard 5mm port, so if you want, you could put these on other figures. But the instructions tell you to move these down. So, yeah. It's probably for, like, clearance reasons. I don't know. But we're just going to untap this from the underneath. Untap the legs. Of course, move all that down. Rotate the leg here. Get the foot down. Close up the panel. fold this front bit in. It's like the original figure. Take the heel, fold that out. And that's the legs done already. And we can see this guy is actually quite tall. So if I just move this down, that goes into place. You can just see how tall he is. Like, this is one of the taller Voyagers. So just come around here, unpack these from here. Just straighten the shoulders and forearms out. Open this up. And similar to the Sea Starscream, because I'm pretty sure they said that this is a partial, well, a heavy partial of Sea Starscream. I don't know why they say partial. It sounds like the same parcel, but with a lisp for some reason. I don't know why. But they did mention Sea Starscream, and you can see that the way that the arms transform is quite similar to the Sea Starscream figure, with how you have to open this up and flip the hand out. There's no extending bit though. Instead, you flip around the forearm. Get these bits down. And we just see how tall he is. He's nearly at the back here. But come around here. Open up the tail fins. Open up the back. Flip the head around. Like you can actually see, you have to flip the head around. And then just continue moving the tail fins back, like so. And here we go. So, just trying to move my camera back. Now, this is how the instructions want you to display them, but I do this with my Supreme Class Starscream. I fold in the wings. Because, like, come on, like, these things are tiny enough already, and he already has these huge, I guess, they're not really null rays, are they? Well, I think he's got these little tips. I guess these could be the null rays, but he's got these huge things on his shoulders. So these can act as the silhouette for the wings anyway, so. And I've done this for years with my Supreme Class Starscream, so call it a force of habit. But well, here we have Starscream in robot mode. And, well, come on, it's Cybertron Starscream. What do you expect? Like, it's like they took the show model and just put it on my desk. Like, seriously, like, this just looks amazing. So, just having a 360. Once again, the back is also quite accurate, because we've got the cyber key slot and the folded down tail fins. And of course, we can still plug in the cyber key if you want. And of course, it still does nothing, so it's just, I'll just keep it there for storage and aesthetic purposes. But we also have a port there. So another reason to remove the tail fins could be for plugging armorizers, because of course, otherwise the fins will get in the way otherwise. So that could be another reason why they're removable. So he can be compatible with the weaponizers and the armorizers and all that. But, like, seeing how these can come off, part of me was hoping that these could act as like axe weapons, sort of akin to the Nemesis, but no, they just don't fit. So yeah, these only detach. I think that these only detach so you can have access to the back ports. We'll just keep the cyber key plugged in there. You can get a better look at that. And of course, you can see, seeing how that's smaller, you can't plug in a bigger cyber key, obviously. If anything, it's kind of weird because Override had a port, and that was for a big cyber key. I don't know. Maybe they'll re-release her one day with the gun retooled to take like a smaller Velocitron key, like the same size as Starscream and Cannibal's cyber keys. I don't know. Maybe like they'll engineer a Hotshot cyber key to be backwards compatible with Override's gun. Like, I don't know. But well, we can still flip out the swords. So, yeah. And before you give him his gun, I forgot to look at the head. So, there we go. And that has a really good looking head sculpt. Like, I don't know if he's actually smirking or not. Kind of looks like he's smirking. Which does fit this version of Starscream pretty well. I mean, keep in mind, this is sort of meant to be a reborn Armada Starscream, which, I don't know. But hey, Galaxy Force was meant to be a different show from, like, Galaxy Force was separate from, Micron Legend back in Japan originally, so, explains why this Starscream is more the original compared to Armada Starscream, so, yeah. Now, giving him his gun, well, we just plug that in. So he's got both swords and a gun. Compared to the big guy where, well, they're folded up right now, but in the Supreme class figure had it so one thing has the sword and another has the gun. Okay. And of course, the gun can still take blast effects. Although from the looks of it, if I fold this down, oh, this is something I've never noticed, but we've got guns here as well. So these are meant to act as the null rays. See, oh. Yeah, the bigger figure also has that, but of course, like, not blast effect compatible, but still, that's something I've never noticed. Like, these are meant to be like little guns. I never noticed that until now. So, yeah. But of course, we've got other ports. The shoulder port is covered by a disc, so you have to remove that to access it. Got the port here on the side of the leg. The back, you have to remove the tail fins to access. And unfortunately, just due to the transformation, there's no ports on the feet. Oh well. Now, before we move on to the articulation, let's put him with this guy. Just so we can... I mean... like, this guy's got a freaking crown, just showing how big he is. I mean, you could probably use the crown from SSA 6 Starscream, but it probably might not fit, so, yeah. Also, yeah, the guns here can flip forward. They don't do that on this figure. I'll show you. See? They don't move. It's pretty like that. It's pretty like that on the original Voyager figure as well, but yeah, it just shows how big like this guy is. Now, moving on to articulation. Well, the head, I'm pretty sure that the head's on a ball joint, so of course it can look around. He can look up and down. Well, he can nod. The arms can move. Full free. Yeah, the arm can rotate. Can't really T-pose, it's more just an A-pose. Just due to how the shoulders are constructed. But he's got an elbow, which is double jointed. Swivel there. And the wrists, I'm not really sure because that gets in the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that does actually move. This rotates just due to it being a peg like mounted onto a port. A new addition, a waist swivel. Like, this wasn't a third-party version of this guy, but still, this is the first mainline Cybertron Starscream to have a waist swivel. You can kick forward. You could kick back. Really good knee. Swivel there. You can do the splits. And a really good pivot there. And the toes can move. So yeah, posability is quite good, but I'll be honest, I do miss the ratchet joints of the Supreme figure. Like, just listen to that. But I do understand why this guy doesn't have any, because ratchet joints are pretty much relegated to Titan figures and Commander class figures nowadays. But still, with this guy, it's nice to have a Cybertron Starscream at Voyager class, where you don't have to pay import tax. So, yeah. And well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. So, complaints. I mean, I think the very few that I have are honestly just nitpicks. I think the big one I have is they could have engineered this better, because I mean, for one, seeing how it's on this joint, it means it blocks off the shoulder port. Maybe they could have just at least put a port here so you can still have access to it, but But I also find it annoying how they tell you to move this entire Norway section for the transformation just to move it back afterwards. I know it's for clearance, but it's still kind of annoying. But honestly, that's my biggest complaint, because with the rest of this, I mean, this figure is amazing. Like, dude, if you're a Cybertron fan, you need this. If you're a fan of Transformers Cybertron, you need this in your collection. I don't know what it is with the Unicron Trilogy figures in Legacy, but they are knocking it out of the park with the Armada, Cybertron, and I guess Energon figures, but yeah, the only Energon figure is a Core Class Megatron, so really it's just Armada and Cybertron, but still, the Unicron Trilogy figures in Legacy, they are nailing it. Seriously. This has me really excited for that rumored Hot Shots. And I think there's also a rumored Vector Prime. This has me really excited for those. So, yeah. Do I recommend this? Well, I just said it. Of course I do. If you're a Cybertron fan, this is essential for your collection. Like, this feels like Hasbro apologizing after the Galaxy upgrade Optimus Prime. Speaking of which, a certain figure is going to be reviewed next, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this feels like Hasbro apologizing after Galaxy upgrade Optimus Prime and Siege. So yeah, I definitely recommend you get this. And I'm definitely excited to get the rest of Wave 2. Not so much Chromia, but definitely the rest. Like, seriously. Sandstorm looks amazing. So, yeah. Well, this has been my review on Legacy United Cybertron Starscream. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.